here's the homework 3.4, day 1. These are transformations. You are supposed to identify the parent function on line A, and then in order state all the transformations. So we're going to follow this format. F of x is equal to C function A parenthesis x minus b parenthesis plus d. So in this order, first tell me what the parent function is. X squared. Y equals x squared. Now, you do not have to pull an a value out of here. So we're going to start with our a value would, you don't have to do, but the b value would be 3 units to the right. Then out in front, that's your c value. This is a reflection over the x-axis. And it is a vertical stretch by a factor of 2, and it's 2 units up. Number 2, this problem has to be rewritten. What's that? We did this one together, we're going to do it again. So let's rewrite negative 2x plus 6. Pull out the negative 2. So what is 6 divided by negative 2? Negative 3. You want that a value out by itself. So what's the parent function here? It's the absolute value. So we're going to start, here's a. This is our a value. This is first a reflection over the what?
Y-axis.
Reflection over the y-axis. It is a horizontal compression by 1/2. 3 units to the right. A vertical compression by 2/3. And 2 down. And we did this one in class. Number 3, what do you have to do with this a value? Factor it out. Okay, what's the parent function? Y equals x squared. Okay, here's your a value. What do you do with this a value? Flip it, and you get a 1/2. So this is a horizontal compression by what? 1/2. 2 units to the right. Reflection over the x-axis. Vertical compression by 1/4 and 1 unit down. And the last one on this page, what are you going to pull out? What's the a value? 1/2, and then what are you going to have here? X minus 6.
Oh. I'm just kidding.
1/2 times negative 6 is negative 3. If you don't know what to do, take this number and you divide. You do 3 divided by 1/2, which means you flip and multiply. So what's your parent function? Y equals x. It's the cubic function. Start here. Here's your a value. Flip it. If it's greater than 1, it's a stretch. So this is a horizontal.
How'd you get the 6 again?
You take this number and divide by that number. So 3 divided by 1/2. You have to flip and multiply. Okay. So we have a horizontal compression, horizontal stretch. Horizontal stretch by a factor of what? By 2. 6 units to the right. Reflection over the x-axis. Vertical stretch by 4. And 2 up. Number 5, what are you gonna pull out? Pull out a 1/2. So you're going 4 divided by 1/2, which is 8. Okay, we start with this right here. Well, first of all, the parent function is the cube root. You take, this is your A value, flip it. This would be a horizontal stretch or compression. Stretch by a factor of 2. 8 units to the right. And one more thing, reflect over X. The outside one is a reflection over the X-axis, the inside is a reflection over the Y. Number 6, this is the greatest integer function. It's the box one. Y equals box, X boxed. Now this one, my second hour had trouble with pulling this 1/3 out. So what did I tell you to do? You take this number and you're dividing it by 1/3. So if you flip and multiply, you get 3 over 1, which is 3/2. So it's 1/3 parenthesis X minus 3/2. Now I always double check. I double check my math to make sure. If I were to distribute 1/3 times X, I get 1/3 X. And then what's 1/3 times negative 3/2? These 3's cancel and you have negative 1/2. So it worked. So here we go. What's our first thing? Flip this. And you're going to have a horizontal what? Stretch by a factor of 3. 3/2 units to the right. Reflection over the X. Vertical stretch by 2 and 3 up. Number 7, pull out the -4. And double check your math. -4 times X is -4X, -4 times -2 is +8. So we're going to start with the parent function, which is Y is equal to X cubed. Start with this. What's this? Reflection over the Y-axis. Horizontal compression by 1/4. To right, vertical stretch by 3. Number 8. The parent function, I pulled out the 1/3. So 2 divided by 1/3 is 6. Parent function is the square root function. Here's your A value, flip it. This is a horizontal what? Stretch by 3. 6 to the right. Reflect over X. X-axis, sorry. This is a reflection over the X-axis. Vertical stretch by 5 and 2 up. Last one on this page. How do you get this B value? What do? You do 4 divided by 3/5. So it's 4 over 1 times 5 over 3, which is what? 20/3. Everybody catch that? Now let's double check. 3/5 times x is 3/5 x. 3/5 times 20, the 5 goes into the 20 the 4 times, and these 3's cancel, so it worked. So we're gonna, first of all, the parent function is the absolute value of x. You're gonna flip this. 3/5, if you flip it, it's gonna be 5/3. Is 5/3 greater than 1 or less than 1?
Greater. So
It's
a
greater.
stretch.
So it's gonna be a horizontal stretch by 5/3. Then it's 20/3 to the right.
Can you just say that? Do you want it as an improper?
Yeah, just leave it like that. Then you're gonna say reflection over the x-axis. Vertical stretch by what? 2 and 2 down. Backside. Okay, these 6, we are given the parent. Your job is to put these numbers, these situations into the equation to generate the transformation function. So if we start off with f of x is equal to x squared, our new function, I'm going to call it g of x now. Now some people, I think this might help you if you do this. And after you get the hang of it, oops, I'm sorry, a x minus b plus b. We're going to do that. So let's read it. The first bullet here. It says shift the graph 1 unit to the left. What's this going to be? X plus, that's going to move it 1 unit left. Stretch it vertically by a factor of 4. The vertical stretching goes where? Outside. Shift it down 5 units. And reflect over the x-axis. So what's your answer? Let's make it better. -4. X plus 1 squared minus 5. Next, we've got the cubed function. We're going to shift this graph 2 units to the left. What's 2 units to the left? X plus 2. We're going to stretch it horizontally by a factor of 3. So what's this going to be? 1/3 in front. Now watch this. See what I did? Shift it up 5 and reflect it over the y-axis. So where are you going to have a negative now? In front, right in front of the 1/3, not in front of the parenthesis. So there's your answer. We didn't do any vertically stretching and compressing or flipping it over the x-axis, so there's nothing in front of the parenthesis. Next one, 12. We're going to shift this graph 2 units to the right, and it's the absolute value. So 2 units to the right, what are you going to write? X minus 2. We're going to stretch it horizontally by a factor of 3. Should I put a 1/3 here and leave it? You need parentheses here. We're going to shift it up 5 units.